Sister Davis has been a lifelong dancer. I've been dancing a few years. I was against dance for a while, but once we found out the mechanics of the dance, we soon discovered how it made us forget about our problems or made us forget about the obstacle we was facing at the time. And if we went into because some sessions we went into frustrated just like every other couple, but when we got to dancing, whatever we was mad about, it just wasn't important anymore. And we realized that connection then, if dance is going to help us overcome some issues, and we think we have a pretty good marriage, then just imagine what it'll do for everybody else. And it reduced my counseling load tremendously. And when that happened, we were sold on dance.
Now, was it your idea to use dancing for counseling?
Dancing, you can't, it is good for counseling. I didn't recommend it for counseling, but I recommended it for the couples because I know that you cannot dance and be mad. You cannot dance and be mad. And anytime he and I would go anywhere, if music came on, I was just excited to get up. So just imagine how many couples can be excited about getting together and dancing. You can't be upset and dance.
Absolutely.
Now, what were you seeing on the dance floor? Because there were couples out there who had never danced before.
And they were all smiling. They were all being attentive one to the other. Yes, and what really amazed me about what I observed was how the husbands were always looking at the wife's feet. And I would have to tell him, get your head up. You need to look at her in her eyes. And whenever he looked up, every wife was smiling. And the husband embraced that, and it just kind of motivated him. And as I observed that, I was like, wow, this is good. And I went to couple, and when they seemed like they was frustrated and the dancers got a little close to them and began to work closely with them, well then all of the tension left and everybody was smiling, they was focused, they was embracing one another. Even though they were a distance apart, you could see their hearts really embracing their spouses. And many of them could not dance. And I had to pull a few of them up by hand, but they did not come reluctantly. They obeyed and they went out and danced, and each one of them said they had a marvelous time.
Now, your husband talked about during the presentation, communication from his standpoint, talking about the husband needing to listen. What do you see that the wives need to do?
Well, if the husband is communicating very well, the woman can follow. She can really submit and be obedient to what he's asking her to do. And then in dance, she can follow him, his every lead without him saying a word. You know, there are a lot of times couples can complete each other's thoughts and words. With dance, it's like that, it's communication. Then he won't have to tell you move to the left, or he won't have to tell you step, step, slide. You'll know the step, step, slide because you have that relationship and you're able to communicate well. So therefore you'll be able to dance well.
And I say in the book that submission is not an issue for single folk. It's strictly for married folk. And I also say in the book that it takes a man to make a marriage work. And the idea of the man leading and promenading and the wife submitting to that role and allowing him to do that, that creates partnership. And so if there is a problem submitting in the home, that would be a problem submitting in the dance. But what makes the mechanics work is this: in order for you to flow gracefully across the floor, somebody has to yield. And so when the woman yields, it just makes the dance look better, because if she doesn't yield in the dance, she won't yield at home. But everybody then will have a snapshot that that's a pretty poor marriage. And we want everybody's marriage through the love language of dance to reflect honor. We want it to reflect focus. We want it to reflect timeliness. And we want everybody to connect. And if they can connect, I promise you we can cut down on the divorce statistics. And when they can't connect, or if a woman won't submit, we got a disobedient problem. Not to her husband, but she has a God problem.
And break that down, because a lot of times when women hear the word submit, they're thinking submit to the husband, but really and truly, is it not submitting to, if you have a husband who submits to God, then just explain how that works.
Okay.
For me, if he's submitting to God, then you won't have no problem submitting to him then, because he will be trying to follow the Lord in his ways and doing things. So if he can't lead his family in a godly way, then he can't lead you in a godly way, and then you're not apt to follow him if he's not leading. So,
and I'll piggyback on that simply by saying this. If a man is leading, he'll never have a problem with his wife following, because we are initiators, and as I said, women are responders.
Yes.
If you want respect in your home, men, sow some. And she's only going to give you back what you give her. So therefore, I tell men, whenever there's a problem in your relationship, then that tells me that you are not leading the way God asked you to lead. And as long as you're submitting unto God, no woman in the world, I don't care how hard she is, will never have a problem submitting to a man when she see him submitting unto God. I tell men, your daily exercise, your wife ought to see you praying. Your wife ought to see you studying. Your wife ought to see you meditating. And when she see those exercises happening on a daily basis, who couldn't submit to a man who's submitting unto God? Every woman wants that kind of man. And we know after 23 years of marriage, that really makes an amazing relationship.